Yo, what's going on, guys? This is your boy Mac the Trader back with another video. So, in this video, I have something special for you guys, right? So, in this video, I'm essentially going to be showing you all how I would take advantage of New York session, right? Now, this morning we had live trading with my students. I'm going to give you guys the analysis that I gave them. I'm going to show you guys why I gave them that analysis. We're essentially going to break down the entire New York session today. Is Friday, August 19th, and results were able to be produced if you understand how I trade, right? So we're going to break this down. This will be really good educational content for those of you all who aren't traders but looking to start trading, all right? It's going to be a little bit of content into my world. I'm essentially going to treat you as if you were one of my students, right? So we're not necessarily going to do the whole intro, commercial, things like that. We're going to hop right into it. And I want you guys to drop any questions that you have in the comments because you're going to have questions. And once you have questions, I want you to put them in the comments and we can have a forum. All right. And I'm going to be answering those questions, giving you guys my thoughts, things like that. And we'll see how it goes. Right. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's hop right into the charts and start breaking down Euro USD. And then depending on how you guys like this video, I may do an AUD USD breakdown as well. Very similar to how I'm going to do this one. All right, so let's get right into it. Also, those of you all who are a part of the Telegram community, you guys received the link this morning, and you guys were able to hop on as well with my students. So it pays to be a part of it. If you're not a part of the family, go ahead and hit that link in the description. Join the Telegram community, as well as subscribe to the YouTube channel. All right, and hit the bell notification icon to be updated whenever I upload a new video. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Okay, so starting this morning during London session, which was here within this area. All right, so once you guys hopped on this session, I essentially gave you guys a breakdown of Euro USD first. All right, well, we went over AUD USD first, but before we actually get into New York session, I of course gave you guys kind of like a breakdown of what I was looking for. So that's essentially what I'm going to do for you guys on YouTube as well as we go through it. So we can see here, okay, this was London session. Okay, what did London session do? So we essentially swept liquidity that was created during Asia session. This is one of the reasons why I don't necessarily like to trade Asia session because you deal with stuff like this. Like notice Asia high and Asia low, they were both swept, right? So it's almost like, why would I even want to get into the market? I like to take entries during London, entries during New York. New York is either going to be a continuation of London or a reversal from London. Very straightforward. We also had a reversal entry here on the lower time frame as well, but as we can see, you were still able to carry out price regardless. All right, so, excuse me guys. So let's start to break this down. Okay, so during London session, we can see that we swept Asia high here. Okay, I'm just going to include this candle as well, but so we swept all of this here. And after we have that sweep of liquidity here, we can see that price starts to break to the downside, but I'm not interested in anything just yet, right? Now, on a lower time frame within this area, you actually could have entered the market here for possible sells, and you would have targeted, sell side liquidity during Asia session right here within this area. However, I did not trade Asia session. I'm just formulating the trade idea that I gave my students from this morning from our live trading. So we formed this swing low here. Okay, this is a swing low because we have a higher low here, and we also have a higher low here, right? And then we see price pushes to the upside, taps into this doji candle here, okay, or pin bar, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't really matter. It's an institutional candle is how I look at it. And then we see price rose over to the downside, and you guys probably hear my phone going off. My students are contacting me. All right, we're good. Okay, so we see that price takes out sell side liquidity here, okay, at this swing low with a nice push, okay. Not only do we take out sell side liquidity, we also leave behind a little bit of imbalance here, right? And then we also have this area here, which is our supply flip, okay? This supply was responsible for flipping this demand here. So this is the demand. So essentially I'm gonna break down to you guys how my new equities trading strategy as well as the institutional trading strategy all within one, right? So for those of you guys who do not trade, if you're a trader and you're looking to trade, this is going to be a really good intro video for you um, to start to get your feet wet with the terminology and things like that, right? So be sure to take some notes. So we can see, this is the higher low that is responsible for printing this higher high here with that nice push, okay? So price is tagging this demand right here within this area. Let's go ahead and label that demand for you guys. So all within this area we have demand, and we'll make that pink for the time being, right? We tag this demand multiple times, okay? This creates a failed reaction simply because price interacts with this demand but does not take out this high, okay? So this failed reaction, there has to be some type of supply that comes into the market to take out these failed reactions as well as to take out this demand and give us our change of character. Okay, our change of character is right here, from price going to the upside to price transitioning to the downside. And my camera just turned off. Give me 1 second, guys, and I'll be right back. All right, and we are back. Okay, so we see that, price gives us that change of character, okay, here within the market. And this is the flip opportunity. So not only do we have confluence with how I trade equities, but we also have confluence with, give me 1 second, guys. So we not only have confluence with my institutional trading strategy, but we also have confluence with my equities trading strategy as well that I'm applying to currencies, right? So we know that this area here, whether price reacts, today, next week, tomorrow, this is definitely something that I'm going to be paying attention to, and you guys can also feel free to mark this up on your charts and look to see how price reacts to this area. Right, so this was the trade idea formulated from this morning, okay? We have a break of this swing low, push to the downside, so this is a true order block, okay, this entire range. We're gonna refine that, okay, order block to this supply candle here that was responsible for flipping this demand here, right? Very, very straightforward. And then you guys can see I already have my alert set here for when price taps to this region. So, but then price just continued to push to the downside, okay, and we hit New York session. So during New York session, of course, I'm looking for price to possibly tap back into this region. Okay, that's what I told all of my students, and look for price to roll over to the downside. However, okay, you can also just trade the session on the lower time frame and take advantage of the momentum wherever price is going. So that's what I'm going to show you guys on this video. This is really going to be for new beginner traders, okay? So if you're someone and you want to know how I day trade a session, this video is going to be for you. So let's get into it. So on the M5 time frame, so first I'm looking for some type of sweep of liquidity, right? I need fuel for my trades, okay? And the only way you can have fuel for your trades is to have a sweep of liquidity, as you guys know, right? So we sweep this liquidity here, okay? These relatively equal highs that formed during London session, okay, before taking out London session low here, right? Sweeps this liquidity here, and we're anticipating that it's going to continue to push to the upside, right, and tag into this area. Now, we were about, let's see, 9.5 pips, okay, away from actually tagging our higher time frame point of interest. However, on our micro time frame, so this is not a macro time frame, but on our micro time frame, we can simply just take advantage of price, right? So we're going to talk about a couple of trades here on a couple of different time frames, just depending on how you want to day trade a session. So we can see on this time frame here, we have that sweep of liquidity. That's always the first confluence that I'm looking for, right? We can see that price creates this swing low here, all right? Nice little swing low. This candle here, okay, does not necessarily sweep this liquidity, but we already have this overall sweep, okay, of these relatively equal highs here. All right, so buy side liquidity. We also know that we have sell side liquidity resting here. Why do we have sell side liquidity resting here? Well, this is sell side liquidity because this is the swing low, okay, or the major low that price is coming from before we have buy side liquidity that's swept. Once we have buy side liquidity that's swept, all right, price forms this swing low here, and price takes out that swing low, also leaving a little bit of imbalance within the market here, okay, and sweeping this liquidity that we spoke about earlier. So this is our order block, okay, this is a true order block. Now, my entry, okay, would have been here, okay, based on how I trade equities, right, and we can see that price does tap into that imbalance. I just use the imbalance as a confluence. I don't necessarily use the imbalance as a trigger or an entry to set, my entry and my stop loss. I don't use it like that. I just use it as a confluence to signify the fact that this may be an order block, a range of price that is blocking orders, right? So this was on the M5 time frame. Now for these trades, I'm minimum going to go for 5R minimum, okay? If my target is more than 5R, then great. But if my target is less than 5R, then I'm just going to go for 5R always, right? Stop above the swing high, so stop would have been above this area here for about 9.5 pips, right? And then we can see that our target would be 47.5 pips. It's about 12:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. However, we are still breaking to the downside. Let's see, the most recent setup for a possible entry was here. So price may tap into this area here and then hopefully continue to push to the downside, because I know I do have some traders that I've been working one-on-one with as it relates to this liquidity trading strategy, and I'm pretty sure they may have an entry here. I would if I were trading New York session, and we can see that this set up before New York session ended, which is here. So not bad. So let's see how price reacts to this area live if we can. Anyways, so 5R is the target here. All right, simply just taking advantage of the entry schematic during the session on a micro time frame. Now let's start to look at some of these other entries. You could feel free to use the M2, the M1 if you would like. I like to use something a little bit more beefy, so I tend to stick with the M2 or the M5. I'll use the M1 only with my institutional trading strategy. All right, so on the M2 time frame, we can definitely see some scale and opportunities. Remember, just trading right along with price. So this was the entry on the M5 time frame right here within this area. All right. If you were trading my institutional trading strategy, however, all right, and you were entering on the M2 time frame, okay, you would have entered here. Now remember, mentorship students, you guys gain access to my institutional trading courses for free, so you guys don't have to pay for it, right? 1 month at a time, you guys will gain access to each course. As you guys continue to master the information, then you will also be able to sign up for one-on-one sessions with me, as well as live trade with me throughout the week, and sign up for our group sessions. So this would have been around, I would have just did this here, 3 pips, and then of course the rest is history. Right, so these are the types of results that my institutional trading strategy here at Mac Trading Academy will produce you. So we can see we peaked around 11% return on investment. However, we are not here to break that down. We're here to go over something else, right? Because I know a lot of you guys have been asking me, hey Mac, but how do I actually trade within the session? So here on the M2 time frame, right, we can see that we have this swing low that forms here, okay? We have price push to the upside. We have a sweep of this liquidity here, buy side liquidity. Let's go to the M1 time frame so we can see that a little bit more in depth. All right, so we have relatively equal highs here. Price stalls out, and we still sweep, push to the downside. So that's perfect, right? Let's go back to the M2 time frame. Beautiful. Not only does that take place, we of course have the break of the swing low here, and then we have a little bit of imbalance that forms as well, right? Right here within this area. Let's go ahead and mark that up for you guys. Perfect. So looking for sell entries here, okay, stop right above the swing high here. And once again, you're just going for 5R. That's it. You're just going for 5R, right? We see price trades into this area here, okay? You could put your stop above the candle wick high if that's what you want to do. Let's go to the M1 time frame to look at this in a little more in depth. All right, so we can see that imbalance is here on the M1. All right, entry here, and on the M1, stop right above this swing high here. All right, and then the M2 time frame, it would be above this region here. All right, not bad at all. So risking about 3 pips, and then once again, just looking for 5R, right? 5% return in and out of the market. Trust me, guys, if you all can be disciplined with this strategy on a daily basis, 5R is not bad at all. Those of you a part of Mac Trading Academy, this is what we will be utilizing when we are live trading equities this coming month. Super excited about that. And we can see that we have this set up right here as well. possibly forming, right, based on the M5 time frame, as we discussed earlier. So once again, we have sweep of this liquidity here, all right? We have a break of this swing low here, nice. We have imbalance here as well. All right, looking for price to trade back into this area, and based on the institutional trading course, this would be our liquidity point of interest here. Right, so we have a lot of confluence within this region. As you guys will see, how I trade equities is very, for mentorship students at least, how I trade equities is very, very similar to how I trade institutional order flow, right? The only difference is the institutional trading is going to produce you a lot more return on investment, but it's also going to require a lot more time, energy, things like that, right? So for those students who are new to day trading, for those of you guys on YouTube who are new to day trading, join Mac Trading Academy. Let's create a plan for how you should be trading, right? Do you have enough time to use the institutional trading plan? Or are you working a 9 to 5? Would you like to be able to hop on the chart, see a setup, enter the market, leave it, come back later, manage it, things like that, set alerts, okay? You have options here, right? So as you guys can see, that basically breaks down this entire region, okay? 5R was collected. This trade here is up about 2.16, okay? So that's about 7.16 so far. And then, of course, you'd be looking to possibly enter here since this took place before New York session ended, right? So that could be another 5R, you know, putting you around 12.19R, right? Possibly. Or you could just close everything and just take the 7R. It's up to you. You have options, all right? Now, if you guys enjoyed something like this, if you guys want something like this on a daily basis where I essentially like break down the market, so it's not necessarily like a trade breakdown, but it's more so like mentorship on YouTube, feel free to let me know. We can also do this on AUD/USD. A student actually contacted me and said, hey, Mac, maybe you should do something like this. I think, you know, people would really be able to gain from it, you know, on how you see the market and your perspective and things like that. Because it's really the same perspective every single day. Like what I did here is the same thing I would have done here. I didn't trade this session, but yes, my entry would have been here and my stop would have been up here if I'm trading it with my equities trading strategy. And then if we go into, like, I'm just going to take quick glances. I wasn't able to day trade every single day this week. However, as you guys know, because I'm also an entrepreneur and I was very busy this week with meetings and things like that. Now, on this day here, there was no entry, right? Price came short of all of our entries, and sometimes that happens. But I believe this was the only entry opportunity. This would have been a nice entry if you're using the strategy that I use to trade equities. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet, but just stay tuned. Because by the time the course is done, I'm also going to do a PDF for you guys. So some of you guys who may not, who learn best like through reading and images, all right, I'm going to also make a PDF. Now, since I'm not going to be putting like video time and energy into it, of course, it'll be cheaper for you guys to get your hands on, but I'll be making that as well for you all. Let's see, on this day here, I don't really like taking buys. I'm going to be honest. How I trade equities, I don't necessarily like taking buy positions. However, no. I'm thinking here, but we don't have any type of, no, it wouldn't have taken place. Yes, but that's after session, so no. Yeah, so it doesn't look like anything for August 17th. That was Wednesday. However, okay, if you were using it for London session, then yes, right? It produced 7.57% or 5% if you're just going for 5%, right? I will be creating an algorithm for this as well, and the algorithm I will just target 5%, however. I'm working with a team right now in Nigeria and India, and one guy's from the UK. And so we're all, they have different strengths as it relates to coding and algorithm for something like this. One guy is really skilled in risk management, another guy's really skilled with technicals, and another guy's really skilled with liquidity and things like that and order flow. So all three of them are going to come together and basically gave them a contract. Also, follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram if you would like to see things like this, because I talked about this on my Instagram. We gave three of them contracts, and yeah, we're going to see what they can do. I think they're going to be able to do it, though. So we have, let's see, do we have a possibility here? No. I'm just glancing very, very quickly. No. Yes. However, I would have scaled down to the M1, but yes. And then, of course, you can see he wrote that out. So that was beautiful on the 16th. So, I mean, like, yeah, as you guys can see. And then, of course, London, yes, is right here. This was not a bad one at all. Yeah, this was not a bad one at all, to be honest with you guys. And then, of course, targeting sell side liquidity, but that at least produced U5R for sure. And on the 15th, you guys already saw this trade. I broke it down to you guys. But this one definitely produced 5R, produced 6.63, and it was right here. Right, so same thing. So it's the exact same thing that you guys are seeing on, you know, on the other breakdowns for this New York session, right? And then, of course, the New York session on the 15th, let's see. I mean, it was pretty much just a continuation off of London. However, I don't see any imbalance there, so no. Yes, you would have entered within this region here. And that's, of course, 5R. See, it's the same stuff over and over. This is how the market moves. Anyways, I don't want this video to be too long for you guys, but I know you all enjoy this type of content. So I decided to give you guys just a little taste of the mentorship here at Mac Trading Academy. Hit the link in the description when you are ready to take your trading to the next level, or join us on our Sunday night webinars. All right, if you want to be a part of the Sunday night webinars, join the Telegram. Click the link in the description, join the Telegram, and take advantage of our Sunday night webinars, where I basically break down the markets on how I see it, and then I also give you guys some type of sneak peek as it relates to my next trade idea that I send out to my mentorship students and my trading community students. If you can't afford the mentorship program, no worries. Take advantage of the free content. Take advantage of the free trades. Take advantage of the free webinars. Take advantage of it all. And then, as you continue to hone into your skill set on the market and you start to become profitable, invest into the academy to take your trading to the next level. But really, it's just set up a one-on-one session with me. All right, let's go over how you're trading now, where you're looking to go, okay, as it relates to your trading, and then let's set up a plan, step by step, on how you can achieve those goals and how you're going to become a funded day trader. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Much love. Peace out.